what I loved, waiting for the perfect time that never came. I thought being perfect meant being enough, but it only made me feel stuck, exhausted, and never satisfied. If you've ever felt trapped by your own standards, like no matter what you do, it's never quite good enough, this one's for you. Because today I'm sharing how I finally broke free from perfectionism and how you can too. I've been a perfectionist for as long as I can remember. In my work, in my routines, even in parenting. I used to read every book on parenting, trying to make sure I was doing everything right for our son. But there is the painful truth I had to face. In trying to be perfect, I stopped being me. I stopped reading the books I loved. I gave up hobbies that made me feel alive. Every decision became a checklist of doing things the right way. Instead of feeling confident, I felt smaller, more anxious, more tired. I kept waiting for the perfect moment to start something for myself. But that moment never came. Perfectionism was stealing my time, my joy, my identity. I was always chasing this imaginary perfect version of myself, but all it gave me was stress, guilt, and the feeling that I was never enough. We often think perfectionism means having high standards, being detail oriented, disciplined, hardworking, but that's not it. Perfectionism is fear dressed up as excellence, fear of mistakes, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. It's not about growth, it's about protection. But the irony is, it doesn't protect us. It traps us, it kills creativity, it fuels procrastination, and it keeps us from showing up as our real, messy, beautiful selves. A few months ago, I hit a breaking point. I realized I couldn't live in that cage anymore. So I made one simple but powerful decision. Instead of chasing perfect, I would aim for progress. That meant taking small steps, even messy ones. That meant starting before I felt ready. That meant forgiving myself when things didn't go exactly as I planned. And honestly, that one shift changed everything. I started to breathe again. I started doing things I had to put off for years. I felt lighter, more alive, more me. If perfectionism has been holding you back too, here are a few things that help me. Maybe they will help you too. Talk to yourself like a friend. When my inner critic says that's not good enough, I flip it. I ask, what would I say to my best friend if they said that? Suddenly I'm kinder, softer, more real. Progress over perfection. Each day, instead of asking, did I do it perfectly? I ask, did I move forward today? Even one small step counts. Momentum matters more than mastery. Set decision limits. I gave myself a timer, 10 minutes to decide. No endless researching, no waiting for perfect certainty. Just choose, act, and learn as I go. Embrace imperfect action. I started sharing ideas that were not fully polished. I launched projects before they were perfectly planned. And you know what? The work didn't end. In fact, people connected more because it was me. It was real. Celebrate the small wins. I write down every little victory, even it's just I finished this task. It builds confidence, reminds me I'm moving, and helps me feel proud of progress, not paralyzed by perfection. Each of these tiny shifts help me breathe a little easier, and step by step, life started to open up again. And once I stopped chasing perfect, something amazing happened. I stopped wasting hours over editing or second guessing. I started doing more by caring less about being flawless. Connected more with my real self, not the polished mask. Conversations got deeper, friendships got easier. It's freeing when you stop pretending. When the pressure lifted, I could actually rest. I laughed more, I slept better. I was I wasn't carrying that constant weight anymore. Before, I missed chances because I didn't feel ready. Now I say yes, even imperfectly, and those imperfect yeses, they've opened doors I didn't even know existed. I'm still learning, I'm still growing, still catching myself falling back into old habits sometimes. But even just a few months into this shift, I feel lighter, braver, and more than ever before. So that's my story, and the steps that helped me start breaking free from perfectionism. But I don't want to do this alone. If you're watching this and you know perfectionism has been holding you back too, I want to invite you to start this with me. We don't have to be perfect to begin. We just have to begin. Let's choose progress over perfect. Let's choose real over flawless. Let's grow together. Because the truth is, you're already enough. And the moment you show up as yourself, messy and real, is the moment you start to shine. If this video spoke to you, if it made you breathe a little easier or help you feel seen, I'd love for you to support this journey. Hit that like button, subscribe, and maybe even share this with someone who needs to hear that it's okay to be imperfect, because every time you do, it helps this little corner of the internet grow and a place where we can be real, not perfect. And honestly, it feels so good to be imperfect and still be accepted. Thank you for being here, truly.